love you, Steve-O, but not enough to let you eat my corners and my bookings.
Sky Bet. It matters more when there's money on it.
6 days ago, Wycombe and Stockport traded goals and tackles. Now the second leg promises to be just as fierce.
Laid back. Oh, Doherty really got hold of that. It nearly came out to McLeish. Doherty once more, looking to chip one.
That is a fantastic save.
Oh, that was a bit of a miscue. Facey's picked it up. Facey, can he finish? Oh, my goodness me! Can he finish?
Very, very heated down there. It really, really is.
Lovely volley from Gleeson. Oh, what a goal that is! After the first leg is Wycombe Wanderers 1, Stockport County 1.
If they needed any more incentive, Stockport County fans know that a win this evening will line up a local derby at Wembley against Rochdale for a place in League One next season. Wycombe are here to destroy that dream. The last time they won promotion, Martin O'Neill was manager, so elevation to League One is overdue in their eyes. We're at Edgeley Park for the last remaining Coca-Cola playoff semi-final. Stockport and Wycombe in League Two are all square after the first leg. It's live on Sky Sports 1 and HD1. That's channel 408. We've seen 32 goals so far in 11 playoff games. There's one place remaining to be filled at Wembley Stadium, and we'll decide that this evening. With us for the game, Andy Ritchie, former Barnsley, Oldham and Huddersfield manager. And also, hot foot from Scotland, Keith Hill, the winning manager as Rochdale booked their place at Wembley after a penalty shootout against Darlington. The jacket got a bit splashed, I think, Keith, with the old champagne, didn't it? Hence the change of jacket.
Yeah, apologies for the leather jacket.
And 39th birthday today. Well done. Congratulations on both accounts.
Thank you very much. You know, it's been a roller coaster day, trying to celebrate the birthday, preparing the lads, and obviously going through what was an unbelievable match. You know, we ended up being 1-0 down in the early stages of the game, and which was a mountain to climb, 3-1 down in the tie. But we got a goal just before half-time, which gave us the opportunity. And I think we were worthy winners, especially with the second-half performance. And, you know, a great goal from Perkins, and the rest is history, you know, extra time and penalties.
Fantastic. Andy, you've been through all this playoff process as a manager. If you could give Keith one piece of advice, what would it be?
Try and enjoy it, but you can't. It is like a roller coaster, like Keith was saying. You just don't know what's going to happen next. You know, I'm sure, you know, when they went one down, he thought, oh no, you know, that's the chance gone. But he's got a great response from his players.
Well, this made it 3-1 against you, Keith, didn't it?
It did. I think it was a bit of a soft penalty. I can't see too much in it. At the time, I did think it was a penalty, but having looked at the video evidence, I can't see too much of a contact, if I'm being honest. But we recovered well. You know, Kelty put the penalty away, absolutely superb. 3-1 down, but we just had to make sure that we remained in the game up to half-time, and we got a great goal. In fact, we're showing it now. You know, free kick from Adam Rundle, spilled by the goalkeeper, and Chris Dagnall's on target. You know, he's got his third goal in 3 games, so
he's been great coming back after injury.
Superb, you know, to be out for 7 or 8 months with a cruciate knee ligament injury.
What about that?
Superb. I think he got a little defection off Kennedy, but you know, he's got to take the shot from the edge of the box, and you know, it ended up being a great goal. But unfortunately,
now, will you appeal against this?
We've got to. You know, Perks has had a great season. He's not like that. I don't think he goes with any intent to hurt anybody, and I think it was a bit harsh, a straight red, and we'll definitely be looking to get that rescinded, because throughout the course of the 46 games of the season, he deserves to be playing at Wembley.
It was 10 men and then through to penalties for you. What good penalties they were as well coming up. They were like Premier League penalties.
They were all good penalties, and like I said, I can assure you that we didn't practice them in training. You know, we got full of, we believe in the lads, we trust the lads, and they're all accountable. And you know, they were all great penalties, and unfortunately somebody does have to miss, and you know, I think it was Kennedy who missed.
It was Jason Kennedy, the only miss in the penalty shootout, but Ben Muirhead will send you through, and was just fantastic, wasn't it, really, to see Scotland so full of people. I mean, I think you tripled your average attendance
We
today,
did. We
you?
tripled our average attendance. I'm not too sure how many people had actually seen us play before. But, you know, Ben Muirhead, we put him on as a late substitute, and he assured us when he went on that he'd scored a winning goal. And he did do.
How many do you think you'll take to Wembley? Is it possible to work that out?
It isn't really, to be honest. If Stockport get there, I would imagine most of the northwest will be empty. You know, we're looking for the support of Manchester City, Manchester United, etc. to, you know, come along to Wembley, because it is a big arena and we like it to be as full as we possibly can get it.
I know also, you know, since you took over as manager, I think January last year, wasn't it, you took over?
Yeah.
You've tried to change, obviously, the playing staff and everything else, but there's a mentality, or there has been a mentality about Rochdale, which is kind of, well, we're always in League Two, that's where we belong. Have you tried very hard to change that psychology?
We've got to change it. You know, we've changed it with the recruitment of the players. We're giving young players the opportunity. They're hungry. They want to succeed. The town wants to succeed, but there's too many hard luck stories. You know, we want to create history, and we're in a prime position to be able to do that.
Andy, this game here, let's bring it back to this one now, because one team will meet Rochdale in the final, Stockport and Wycombe. A very fiery first leg, wasn't it? Do you expect the same here?
I think they've got to try and temper it down a little bit, you know, because I think that there's been a lot mentioned about it, and sometimes that can get to the players, and we don't want to see that. We don't want to see bad tackles and the like, but I think it'll be an interesting contest. I think it will, you know. It's finely balanced, 1-1, and Stockport have got a great home record here, especially against Wycombe. I don't think Wycombe have won here at all, so that's an omen against them, but I'm looking forward to a very intense game, but a good game of football.
OK, let's get the team news from James Cooper, who's pitchside, and I think, James, a pretty surprising one from Stockport.
Yeah, a major surprise sprung by Stockport boss Jim Gannon for the club's biggest game of the season. Keeper John Ruddy drops to the bench. In comes Conrad Logan. That one of two tactical changes for Stockport County this afternoon. Anthony Pilkington also making way. Leon McSweeney comes in. Two enforced change due to injury. No Michael Rains, no Dominic Blizzard. So Stephen Gleeson, the scorer from Adams Park, who came off the bench last week, he starts alongside Jim McNulty, who begins the game at centre-back. Well, Wycombe Wanderers manager Paul Lambert's delighted to pick an unchanged team. He had some doubts about Scott McLeish, but the 26-goal record club scorer starts alongside Delroy Facey this afternoon. Facey, of course, the man who got this tie up and running with a goal at Adams Park. But all the talk here at Edgeley Park has been about the state of the pitch. A month ago, for the biggest game of the season against MK Dons, it almost looked like the surface of the moon. Some 60 games played on it. 12 occasions when Shell Sharks played rugby on a Friday night, then Stockport County played football on a Saturday afternoon. The groundsmen here have worked astonishingly hard in the month between now and that MK Dons. They've reseeded it, they've had plenty of sunshine, they've had plenty of rain, but to give a player's perspective, I'm joined by Gary Birtles, and Gary, they've worked awfully hard. It's a big game. You need a big pitch for these occasions, don't you?
You certainly do. It's a lot flatter than it has been. I was talking to Gary Holt, the Wycombe midfield player, and earlier in the season they played here. He said the game should have been called off. Wouldn't move across the surface at all. So they reseeded it, 4 weeks ago, and they've been lucky. They got 2 weeks free of rugby and football. So the good weather we've had has allowed it to grow better. But the concern is that it crumbles.
Yeah, I mean, let's have a look at it right underfoot here. From the stand, it looks okay, but you've got holes here. You've got.
Well, we've been watching Wycombe actually warm up behind us, and you can see it cutting up already. So that's got to be a worry. Any more rain, we've had a little bit this afternoon, it could be a concern. But from what it was, the groundsmen have absolutely worked miracles, and it's looking a lot better. Looks a lot better from the stand, but when you get down on it, patchy, and it is breaking up a little.
But for a game like this, you don't want it to be make and break on the pitch, do you?
You don't at all, no. You want it to be as good as it can be, and probably this is as good as it can be at this particular time.
George, the ground staff here have worked wonders to give a great canvas for this game. The weather's just about holding, but a bit of rain here and things could really start to crumble here at pitchside. George.
Thanks, James. Hope not. It's two passing teams here tonight, and that pitch should suit them. But the changes, Andy, 4 for Stockport. All right, 2 injuries, but the goalkeeper, John Ruddy's been in fantastic form.
Yeah, it's a strange one, that, for me. We've you know, obviously discussed it before, but he's been in inspired form, you know, and he's a big lad, and he'll be very disappointed.
He looks
that
it, doesn't he?
He does.
He looks disappointed.
But it is a strange one because he has played so well.
Would it have been just the goal last week when he had that bad kick out? Would it be just that?
Well, I can't see it just being one goal, can it? I mean, it's very strange that you get dropped just for one mistake. You know, how many times has he saved them this season? You've got to look at it at both sides of the coin, but he does look absolutely gutted, doesn't he?
Doesn't look very happy. Does that surprise you as well, Keith?
does. It's a big surprise because he's worked with that back four for a majority of the season. You know, for the two centre-halves, to change the goalkeeper for one game like this, you know, I'm not their manager, but I wouldn't want to make that choice. You know, if it was through an injury, then fair and all well, but you know, I'm very surprised, and like I said, if it's down to one mistake, then it's harsh.
Yeah, Conrad Logan is on loan from Leicester. He has played this season.
Yeah.
You know, he has been in and out the team, but it is a major shock that. And well, let's wish him good luck, shall we? You know,
yeah,
it's a big game, isn't
definitely.
it?
It is
One
a big
game away from Wembley.
Yeah, to come into that. But you see that Ruddy will be also thinking that if they get through and he plays well, he might keep his place for the final. You know, so he'll be thinking on 2 counts there.
I just wonder, for both of you, as we all know by now, Stockport won 6-0 here in the league. And we've been saying in the build-up to the first game especially, listen, that's forgotten, that's a different competition. But does it start creeping back in now here?
It might do with a few of the players, but, you know, it's a different case scenario. The pitch is a lot better than it was. And, you know, I think there is a lot of pressure on Stockport to win it all. I think Wycombe will be cagey. I think they'll invite Stockport to play in front of them and maybe try and silence the crowd a little bit.
Would you express a choice? Would you like to play Stockport in a local derby for the area, or either one?
It would be brilliant for the area, but from my point of view, I'm not bothered which side we play at Wembley.
Would that be in their heads, 6-0?
No, I think they'll try and keep it out of the heads. There'll be no mention of it. I don't think so in the Wycombe dressing room. But as Keith said, some of the players might just secretly think about it and worry about it. But it is a different competition, as you rightly said. Everything to play for. Let's hope it's a great game.
As we've seen in the Stockport team, Stephen Gleeson is in from the start tonight, isn't he? What a goal he scored last week. That's good news for him, isn't it?
Yeah, great goal, and you know, I think he likened it to a Stevie Gerrard goal, you know, and he's capable of doing that. They're very good at set play, Stockport. They've done us on a couple of occasions from set pieces, and that's a major threat for them.
How important is Liam Dickinson for them up front?
He's a massively important player for them. He plays like 2 strikers, you know, he's up there on his own. He occupies both centre-halves, and, you know, if he gets it into his feet, he brings the midfield players in quite well, and he's also got the legs to go beyond defenders as well. And
that formation, Andy, is that one they normally play?
Yeah, they've played it for quite a while, and but they are flexible. You know, they will change the systems, but you know, I think Dickinson's going to be a really important player for them. You know, there's a lot of clubs looking at him. 19 goals this season, and he's
came from non-league, didn't he?
He did, and you know, it might have you know, when Elding left to go to Leeds, there was an extra onus on his back, and he's taken to that for someone so young really well. And like I say, 19 goals, that's some return.
I suppose Wycombe can counter that by saying we've got Scott McLeish, 26 goals.
Well, he's a good player. I actually played against Scott McLeish when he was at Barnet, you know, and he's a threat. You know, he's very good in the air, to be perfectly honest, even though he's such a small player. But, you know, he scored a lot of their goals. He scored probably in excess of 50% of their league goals this season. So, you know, he's a major threat, and you know, he's a fox in the box.
He's played 6 playoff games in his career, hasn't scored a playoff goal yet. I think he's overdue one, isn't he?
I think he is, definitely. You know, he's been phenomenal for them. I mean, 26 goals, all in the league. He's really got them where they are, you know, tonight. But they've got some other, you know, they've got good players there. Stefan Oakes is a great little player, and Torres is the other one that, you know, gives them that little bit of flair, and he buzzes around, and we might just see a bit of a different formation. I think, you know, Torres might get a little bit of a free roll. You never know.
OK, well, coming up, we'll hear from the Wycombe striker who scored in the first leg. Delroy Facey got the goal, and he might have written the phrase, "Have boots, will travel." Coming up for you tonight, Murcia against Barcelona from La Liga, 9 o'clock, Sky Sports 1. And tomorrow again from Spain, it's the last day of the season, a big game at 7 o'clock on Sky Sports 1. Bad news for some Wycombe fans. They've arrived here, but we understand there's about 6 coaches held up on the M6 coming north around about Stafford. And they've only just started to move after a blockage there, so they're unlikely to get here in time because the kickoff will still be at 6 o'clock. We're at Edgeley Park with Andy Ritchie and Keith Hill, the Rochdale manager, who will be at Wembley with Rochdale in the League Two playoff final. It's Wycombe coming here to play Stockport. Last week it was 1-1. Wycombe scored their goal through Delroy Facey. He's on loan from Gillingham, who got relegated at the end of the season. But Delroy is aiming for Wembley.
During a 12-year career, Delroy Facey has had 12 clubs. On his travels, he scored in every division from League Two to the Premier League and played at grounds as glamorous as Old Trafford. Now on loan at Wycombe, the striker's hoping to make one journey that so far eluded him, and that's the trip to Wembley.
It's everybody's dream, obviously. Well, every footballer's dream as a grown-up to play at the highest level. Unfortunately for me, I had the chance to do it at Bolton Wanderers Football Club. It was a great experience from what I had, and I played a few games, scored a couple of goals in them, and then you go to the likes of Old Trafford, Anfield, when you played in front of 67,000 fans, and it's just unbelievable. What the comparison of playing now and having the chance to go to Wembley, I think at this moment in time, I take that over me previously playing in the Premiership, to be honest.
Has that first leg given you confidence?
Well, it's disappointment that we conceded such a late goal, but I mean, we've got to take the positives out of that. I mean, we scored a good goal, and we created a lot of opportunities as well. I mean, no doubt we'll get them same sort of opportunities away at Stockport, and if we can capitalise on the chance what we make and put them at the back of the net, then Wembley should be beckoning.
It's quite a fiery first game, wasn't it? Do you expect the same again?
Yeah, definitely. I know Stockport aren't going to lie down. They're going to come out at us. But I think all the pressure's on them now. The pressure's taken off us now because everybody expects them to go on and take it because they're the home side now. It's frightening to know that we lost 6-0 up there. But going into the game on Saturday, that's 6-0. That's dead and buried. That's gone now. That was in the league. This is like an FA Cup final. It's just a team on a day, and fingers crossed we'll be the better team. Some people will even go to Wembley to watch a game, let alone have the chance or the opportunity to play there. Personally, me, I've got the opportunity of playing at Wembley, potentially going up into the league above, and there'd be not a better place to do it than Wembley.
Delroy Facey, what's the threat he poses most of all, Keith? Is it pace, his speed?
He's got pace, he's a target man. You know, he's a good foil for Scott McLeish. They're a good partnership together. But I think Paul Lambert hinted in his interview that there might be a formation change within the team that he's got, and I think he might possibly go to a diamond-shaped formation in midfield, playing off two strikers.
Yeah. He's had 12 clubs, Andy, 4 on loan. Does that tell you lots of managers have wanted to have a look, but not many have bitten?
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, you know, Delroy's such a powerful man. You know, he's strong, he is quick, and he can score goals. And I think that probably he's maybe not done it as much as he should have done and kept that run going for long enough. You know, he's been a little bit inconsistent, and I think that's maybe why he's had so many clubs. But he certainly can, on his day, be a real handful.
Okay, let's hear from his manager then. Paul Lambert, of course, a European Cup winner, won the Champions League with Borussia Dortmund. He's managing Wycombe Wanderers now, and he's with James Cooper.
Well, Paul, I know you'd love to take the 1-goal lead to Edgeley Park. It's 1-1, finally poised. Is the pressure, though, on Stockport?
I think the onus is always on the home team to go and try and win a football match. And if you see everybody's results in the home ties out the playoffs, the home team haven't really favoured too well, and that was certainly the case with ourselves. But we're here to go and try and win a game.
From your point of view, important to be unchanged? There were some doubts about Scott McLeish earlier in the week.
Yeah, no, we're unchanged. We're different formation, but we're unchanged. And the game's all about players. It always will be. And if the lads can play with everything they've got, then you're hoping at the end that somebody will do a little bit of magic and get us a goal. As
a manager, is it difficult to enjoy the playoff experience? I mean, it was the first taste last week, clearly.
Yeah, it's not great, if the truth be known, but you're in it, and so you must be doing something right. But as I said, the game's all about players and people that come and watch it. And the group of lads that I've got have given me everything they've had in their bodies, and that's all I can ever ask for at the end of the day.
A lot of talk about Stockport's fans last week. I guess you're hoping the Wycombe fans will make themselves heard at Edgeley Park this afternoon.
They were terrific, Stockport, no doubt about it. Their fans were really vibrant, and you're hoping ours are going to do the same because we'll certainly need them.
Was it a difficult game last night? There was all sorts of accusations about being physical, about stuff being said about the Stockport fans. Is there a niggle in this game, or is it just a...
There might be. There's one or two reports that people say things, and you've got to answer them back. And but that's the game of football. I think it's terrific that you have a little bit of a needle against it, and whatever team wins at the end, it'll be worthy winners.
It was a cracker at Scotland. It was committed. It was fierce. It's going to be committed and fierce this afternoon, isn't it?
I think it'll be the exact same as last week, and I think you need a break of the ball somewhere along the line. And as I said, you're hoping for our team that we get a goal.
Final point between now and kick-off. Your job just to take the pressure off the players, I guess.
Yeah, everything's been done as any manager. I'm a novice to it, and I've been 2 years in England, and the 2 years I've been has been great. And but the lads they'll be ready for it.
It's a big prize, though, isn't it?
It's massive. Only if you win it. There's no point going to Wembley and you're just going for a sightseeing tour. You've got to go and try and win it.
Brilliant, Paul. Thanks very much. Cheers. Thank you. Good luck.
It has been a bit tasty, the build-up, to say the least. James Cooper referring there to, I think, a quote, Andy, that Paul made, saying, well, Edgeley Park full won't bother me. We used to get more watching us train at Celtic. You know, it's just been bouncing around a bit, hasn't it? But does that all get forgotten when it starts?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's, you know, obviously there has been a little bit of needle. There has been things said in the press and one or two reports. But I think that, as he said there, that's all part of the game.
He'll stand his corner, Paul, won't he?
Of course he will.
Sure.
And yeah, he should do. You know, it's interesting about the fans. He's going to be missing a few with them being stuck on the motorway, and he was alluding to them being such a, you know, a big influence, and they're going to be down for a little while, whether they get here or not. But it's all building up now. It's cracking.
Jim Gannon felt some of the tackles in the first leg were a bit too hot. Keith, you know, does that affect what the referee's thinking in this game?
Well, it shouldn't do. I think the referees have refereed the playoffs very well, if I'm being perfectly honest. It's not about what the managers say, it's about what the players do. They're accountable, they know it's a man's game, and they'll stand up and they will be accountable for what they do out on the football pitch. And everybody knows it's a man's game with respect to tackling, so everything's even for me.
Absolutely. It's playoffs, isn't it? You expect big tackles, yeah. And it is building up very nicely at Edgeley Park. Let's hope those Wycombe fans stuck on the motorway manage to get here for some of their game anyway. The record between these two teams, well, it goes Stockport's way, certainly overall. 6 more victories than Wycombe. But at Edgeley Park, Wycombe have yet to win a game. So they'll have to overturn a little bit of history if Wycombe are to get to Wembley Stadium this season. OK, let's join our commentators and get the full team news and the formations. Gary Birtles and Rob Hawthorne.
So just hours after their former manager was at Wembley in the FA Cup final, Stockport hope to follow Dave Jones and return there. John Ruddy has paid a heavy price for the poor clearance that gave Wycombe their goal in the first leg. The on-loan Everton goalkeeper is dropped to make way for Conrad Logan, borrowed from Leicester. That's one of 4 changes from last weekend. Anthony Pilkington also left out, with Leon McSweeney in from the start. And injury victims Michael Rains and Dominic Blizzard are replaced by Jim McNulty and Stephen Gleeson, who scored Stockport's equaliser at Adams Park. Wycombe are unchanged in terms of personnel from the first game. Scott McLeish has been past fit to play, looking to rediscover the touch that's brought him 26 goals this term. There may be a freer role for Sergio Torres in supporting the front men, but otherwise it's likely to be business as usual. 7 of this team also started the 6-0 league defeat here in December. So John Ruddy surprisingly finds himself amongst the substitutes, along with Adam Proudlock, who scored a hat-trick in that 6-0 win over Wycombe here. And the Wycombe bench includes John Sutton and Leon Knight as striking options. Well, big day for Conrad Logan, who lost his place here after a sending off in a defeat by Bury back in February. He hadn't played again until the final 2 league games of the season. But what a game to be recalled for Gary Birtles.
Well, it's fantastic for him. He must realise how lucky he is to be back in the side on an occasion like this, and he's got to grasp it.
A huge occasion with 1 place at Wembley remaining to be claimed. Rochdale awaiting the winners of the clash at Edgeley Park. It's a cracking atmosphere. It's Stockport against Wycombe in the League 2 playoffs, and it's live next.
It's the last of the playoff semi-finals. 5 clubs have booked their places at Wembley. Either Stockport or Wycombe will be there tonight, ready to face Keith Hill's Rochdale in the final of the League Two playoffs. Well, they had their moments last week. Jim Gannon, the manager of Stockport, and Paul Lambert of Wycombe Wanderers. They had their moments, but they shook hands at the end of it. And we're into the game now. Gary Birtles and Rob Hawthorne.
So 1-1 from the first leg, but Wycombe coming here with memories of a 6-0 league defeat back in December. Got the same goalkeeper in action tonight in young Frank Fielding. So Wycombe, who are in red tonight, with hopes of banishing the memory of that, but more importantly looking to claim a place at Wembley. Stockport were there for 4 finals in the 90s, lost them all. 2 of them were in the playoffs, and their manager Jim Gannon played in all 4. And they've already won a corner, and Stephen Gleeson, who got the goal at Adams Park a week ago, is going to take this one. Dickinson, who's waiting at the edge of the area, will be a real threat. It's in towards him, but cleared by Holt. And the first attempted goal is from Michael Rose.
Well, good intent early on, early pressure, decent ball in, Holt defends it well, comes out, and it's no real commitment behind the shot. Showing intent very early in this game, want to take the game to Wycombe.
Well, they expected to be backed by a passionate crowd, and they have been, and it's going to be a pretty hot atmosphere, you suspect, on the touchline as well. It was simmering, it boiled over at one point in the first leg, and there's clearly very little love lost between Paul Lambert and Jim Gannon.
Yeah, there's a lot of banter gone on between the two, a lot of things that have been said that have been denied that they were said, and you expect things like that when it's a big game like this. Each one trying to disrupt the others, planning. Not about the managers now, it's about 22 players out there.
Well, 1 or 2 in the Stockport camp complained of the rather physical, rugged approach as they saw it from Wycombe in the first leg. Remains to be seen if that pans out again. That's Williamson, their captain, meeting with the header, finding Rose. Gets it back from Dicker.
What did they expect? What did they expect? You know, a physical game, that's what it is. You don't just stand back and let the opposition take the mickey out of you.
It's Dickinson trying to put a bit of pressure on Williamson there. By Gareth Owen, the Stockport captain. Interesting to see what sort of difference it makes, the change they've had at the back today with Rains out injured. They've got 2 left-footers in the centre of their defence. Here's Torres looking to set McLeish away. He's been forced a little wide, and Rose has just got there ahead of it. Torres already showing that he's prepared to roam tonight and not just stick to that rigid wide right role that he had in the first game.
Well, we saw how important that was last night. Coppinger for Doncaster played that role across the line, just behind the strikers, and caused havoc with it. Torres can do similar. Have some sort of chance, Wycombe.
There was by Holt. Here is Torres. Ball up towards McLeish. Here's Smith. Well, McSweeney had come short for it, but instead he looked to Dickinson. Tackle was by Leon Johnson. It's back by Torres to Tommy Doherty. And here's Delroy facing. Oakes has hit it long. And the header back by Gleeson, and that was a real danger. Well taken in the first test that Logan has faced.
Well, how positive was he here? Spotted the danger. An attempted back header. Look how far he comes, just beyond the penalty spot. Claims it as his own. That'll give him a great deal of confidence.
Well, McLeish was the player lurking there. It was Gleeson's back header to Logan that put the position of the match at risk for Stockport. A position that Gleeson had helped to earn with that stunning volley in the first meeting. Logan, who's on loan from Leicester, and if things go right for Stockport, They and Leicester could be playing in the same division next season. Johnson looking to get underneath that as Dickinson was trying to get in front of him. Smith applying the pressure there to Stephen Oakes. Oakes, who's another former Leicester man. In fact, he played at Wembley for them in a League Cup final. Here's McSweeney.
There's a lot of experience in Wycombe side. They always stand you in good stead on occasions like this, but Stockport, a young side, young players, play without fear normally.
Well, tucked behind by Tommy Doherty, who is one of the feistier characters in the Wycombe lineup. Sweeney waiting to get on the end of Rowe's corner, but he plays it short instead to Gleeson. Back to Rowe. Now McSweeney hits it. Ball is travelling wide.
Well, they wanted to put the ball in the box there. Wycombe thought they were going to put the ball in the box. Played it short. Get the opposition thinking. Just strikes across it, just drags it wide. At least they're mixing it up a little bit. Try and keep the opposition on their toes, keep them guessing.
Gannon been in charge now nearly 2.5 years, but it's as a player that he's a big hero here, really. Just short of 500 games for the club. Part of that very successful team under the late Danny Bergara in the early to mid-90s. McLeish's header on. Cleared by Smith. Woodman with a throw-in for Wycombe. Now Torres, the Argentinian. Looking to help it back to Doherty. Dickup. And it's fallen here for Dickinson, who's got away from Williamson. Can he take it all the way? Liam Dickinson! He has done! It's a huge advantage for Stockport County. Dickinson got clear of the Wycombe captain and took full advantage.
Well, you can see why other teams are watching him, full of confidence, and hey, he might just get better. This is superb. They lose possession, Wycombe, don't win the tackle there, and there it's a race, one-on-one here. Dickinson wins the race, still a lot to do, just slots it, doesn't try and overhit it when he gets in. Should have won the tackle or done a little bit better there. But look at the pace, acceleration, confidence, just waits, keeper goes down, slots it past him. Full of confidence, full of ability, and that is a top-class finish. You might not think it when you see it. You'll say, oh, it's just a tap past the goalkeeper. But he had a lot of time to think about what he was going to do.
Well, he had a lot of time to plan his celebration as well, and his "it will get better" message was for the kit man's partner. Richard Landon's the kit man here. His partner, Joanne Oliver, is at home, tending to 13-week-old Zach and another young child as well. And that message was for them.
We've all been there.
Indeed. We all remember those sleepless nights.
Absolutely.
Well, what a cracking start that is. His 20th goal of the season, the club's first 20-goal scorer in 5 years since Luke Beckett. And the best possible start for Stockport County.
You look at the strikers and you think, is there an over-reliance on Dickinson and on McLeish? Well, you can see why. Dickinson there. Excellent finish.
Well, Logan was struggling to get the back pass from Smith, and they may just have offered Wycombe a route back into the tie.
You don't want to take chances. You've just got 1-0 up and you're trying to be a little bit clever. This pitch is bobbing all over the place. You give your goalkeeper that sort of task.
Williamson, who got done for the goal, hoping to atone for that here from this Wycombe corner kick. Johnson was up there too. Cleared by McNulty.
It's not the best of corners, was it? It's one of those high hanging balls that's difficult to attack. You're whipping in with pace, so you can just get half a yard on your marker.
Ball struck at Oakes. Facey was looking to bring it under control, but McNulty helped to get it away. And here's McSweeney. Dickinson up ahead. Dicker. Turnbull. Now Rhodes. Tried to link up with Rowe, but it's cleared by Holt. Well, it was Facey who gave Wycombe their advantage. Stockport struck back. Now it's Wycombe who find themselves playing catch-up.
If anybody thought that Stockport might be nervous in front of their own fans, well, they think again. Started very brightly.
It's their last home game of the season, Stockport, and they have scored in every single one. There's always the danger they might get a little too carried away after such a good start. So Liam Dickinson, who has given them that good start.
It was Wycombe's own fault, really, wasn't it? Gave the ball away, didn't win it back on the halfway line when they could have done, left a little bit isolated there.
Here's Woodman. Now Oakes. Clearing header by Smith. Now McSweeney. Woodman.
Well, there's a man who has put his team 1-0 up. Wycombe have good possession, they lose it there, and then they lose it again. And then here, they lose it yet again. And look at the isolation. Everybody's forward. Dickinson with half the length of the pitch to run, which he does superbly. But it all started way in Wycombe's half, in Stockport's half, sorry. And look at that. He ran half the length of the pitch and finishes absolutely brilliantly.
Well won by Holt. Rose. Speed Rowe. Now Doherty. Here's Smith. It's Turnbull's ball, looking to pick out McSweeney. Too much on it though.
A really good balance, Stockport. I like the look of the two centre-halves, McNulty and Owen, but then in midfield, just in front, you've got Dicker and Turnbull, who just protect. And then you go through McSweeney, Gleeson and Rowe, who get further forward, joining with Dickinson. And there's a good balance. It's a really tight unit.
It's a very young Stockport team, 8 of them 23 or under. Cleared there by Jim McNulty. Now Turnbull. Tackled by Torres. McLeish back to Facey. Delroy Facey. It's cut out by Owen.
Again, Owen cleans up. Reads the danger really well.
Facey with a flick on. Cleared by Turnbull. Oakes. Now Woodman. Going to bend one round for McLeish. McNulty though behind it to clear.
It's not a bad idea. Not put it in the air, he's put it and it's bounced, and it's so difficult on this pitch to deal with that. And get it spot on, take no chances. They didn't do that there, Stockport.
Muscled out of it by Dickinson.
Well, that's two poor corners on the trot. Both very similar, both too high, both right to the far post. Difficult to attack. I think he'd be very pleased with the way his team conceded possession for the goal. You lose one tackle, but 3 times they had the chance to get it right.
Experienced official tonight in Andy Durso. It's the first ever game he's ever refereed at this particular ground. Another one to tick off the list, Edgeley Park. There's McSweeney, beaten to it by Johnson, who fouled him in the process. Rowe thought about a quick free kick and has found Rose. Looking for Tommy Rowe again.
Went wrong there, but there's just such an exuberance about this Stockport side. You get with youth. You're prepared to give them a chance, which Jim Gannon has. You reap the benefits.
Here's Torres. Away from Gleeson. Now McSweeney. It's Dickinson. Managed to keep it in, has he? No, he hasn't. He's overrun it.
Again, it's a lovely little bit of build-up. Keep possession well. A lot of movement in forward areas.
Well, it is a question of building around youth, and that is what Jim Gannon has done. It led them to 4th place in the table this season. Best points total since 1997, which was actually good enough to win them automatic promotion in that particular year, and from the league above this. Rose. Dickinson was fouled.
The referee didn't give one for Wycombe on Torres. Now decides that one on Dickinson was a foul.
Rose preparing to deliver with a free kick. Holt. Doherty. Now Woodman. Here's Oakes. Away by Owen. Now McNulty. This is Smith. Dicker. Given away to Doherty. Tidied up there by Turnbull.
At the moment, Wycombe have got that outlet in Delroy Facey. Very good in the air, very strong. But if you've got him as an outlet and you're playing the ball up to him, you have to get midfield players around him. He's flicked about 2 or 3 on now. You've got to get Torres involved there, Oakes around him. Holt won't, because he'll sit back a little bit deeper. If he's your outlet, you have to get players around him as quickly as you can.
Here's Oakes. Now Doherty. Space for Holt. Push it on to Scott McLeish. It's fallen again here for Gary Holt. Turnbull going into challenge. Held on to well though by Holt. Here's Oakes. Now Facey. Back in again by Holt. Well held.
Well, more confident booters there for the goalkeeper. Again, the delivery not the best into the box. The long swirling ball, keeps his eye on it, concentrates. Every time you catch one like that, your confidence does grow.
Irish Youth International Conrad Logan, a big presence in that goal. If he can keep a clean sheet tonight, then Stockport are at Wembley. But as these playoffs show time and time again, who scores first doesn't necessarily win. And you have to look at earlier today.
Just been so unpredictable, haven't they? More or less all the games.
Rowe. Play from Dicker. It's Gleeson. Put away from Rowe. A really promising prospect who's emerged this year. He was released by Manchester United actually as a 15-year-old player, and although already a bit of tension simmering there, is there? It's a struggle for the officials to keep them apart.
It's the second time it's kicked off.
There's Dickinson, putting a bit of pressure on Johnson. Here's Turnbull. Now Doherty. Turnbull going in to hassle and harry him, and he's given away a free kick. But Doherty is taken quickly and too quickly.
Well, it's simmering off the pitch, and it started to on the pitch.
Header clear, that's Woodman underneath it. On by Oakes. Now Smith. Oakes leaving it to Craig Woodman. And Sergio Torres. Doherty. Now Holt. Torres shows too much of it to Gary Dicker.
It just shows there how important Dicker and Turnbull are to Stockport. They've got a goal this season, but just playing that protective role, doing exactly what the manager tells them.
Dicker. Now Rose. That's away by Mike Williamson.
He gives you a moment, does he? Dickinson always puts the pressure on the centre-halves. Makes them play it.
Rose. Now Rowe. First time by Rose. Off the arm of McSweeney.
Touched by Johnson there, and there the arm clearly comes out. Good decision. It's good to have somebody like Mr. D'Urso in charge. Because of the first leg, it did get a bit fiery, and you need somebody like him to just keep things calm.
Calmness restored there for now. On by Facey. Again, Delroy Facey.
I think you see him winning really well, and there's only McGleish beyond him.
He's waiting for Williamson to come forward. He's looked for him from the throw, and he got the flick on there. Logan wasn't certain enough to catch it.
Decent header, long throw. There's Logan's position, watches it all the way, and doesn't touch it, bounces off the bar, knows his angles, knows where he is.
Here's Dickinson. 14 years since Stockport were in a Wembley playoff final, and in that same year, 1994, Wycombe won the one for this division. Martin O'Neill's side beating Preston. McGleish.
That was better. Facey wins the ball this time, and Torres was a little bit further forward.
One in the middle for Torres that time, but it was sort of worried clearance from Owen. Did find his man though. Here's Holt. Looking for Torres. Good interception by McNulty. Torres with a header. Cleared by Owen. Only as far away as Oakes. Ball across by Woodman. It's McLeish he's looking for, and he won the header. Facey's there!
Well, that's the sort of chance he dreams about. What a header this is, the first one from McLeish. Look at the hang in the air. Stays onside, and you expect him to do a little bit better, at least hit the target. Terrific header across. Just wide of the target. Sees it all the way. Well, he might have gone back across the goalkeeper. Tried to plant it in the bottom corner. Difficult technique from there.
It's been a good response from Wycombe. Smith slid across and got a piece of Sergio Torres in the process.
It's a good job of protection there when he gets knocked into the sidings there. Like a tyre wall in Grand Prix there. It's a good job it was there.
He saved Torres from a worse fate. Quick free kick taken here by Oakes. It's Woodman's ball up. Tommy Doherty hoping to spend Wembley weekend alongside his former club Bristol City, who are already there in the Championship playoff final. Now Torres. Here's Doherty. Holt.
Really good harassing by Stockport, forcing Wycombe back.
To find Williamson this time. Dickinson has come back at him. Rose there before Torres. Doherty. Now Woodman. It's a good spell of pressure this from Wycombe. Doherty looking for Williamson.
Who's back there? Dickinson.
A key contest now, hasn't it? Dickinson got the better of it against Williamson for the goal. Now tending to the other side of the game.
Good grounding. You can see that he goes back. Sees his marker has gone up there. Could have stayed up, been a bit lazy. Certainly wasn't.
Jim Gannon lost one key goal scorer this season in Anthony Elding, who he sold to Leeds. But the goals for County keep coming from Liam Dickinson, another absolutely precious one tonight. Smith with no hope of keeping that in. Here's Oakes. Doherty had half expected Dickinson to cut that one out. Rowe. Now Smith. Rowe. McSweeney. Smith.
Disappointing again to a good move.
Here's Holt. Well, it was committed from McSweeney, but the referee didn't like it. First card of the game.
The referee was the wrong side of this. Sweeney was convinced he took the ball. You see Oakes on it, gets the ball, but it's a follow-through, goes through with the scissors. There, first touch is on the ball. It was just the follow-through that wasn't particularly good in the referee's eyes.
Well, he's treading warily, even though he is back on his feet. Stephen Oakes. His kick going down the middle towards Johnson. It was McNulty who cleared. Now Doherty.
impressed, was he? Thought he might get a free kick there. That's it. Not to be.
Well, promises to be quite a playoff final weekend on Sky Sports. The Championship final is first this year. It's live on Sky Sports 1 and HD1 Saturday from 2 o'clock. And a cracking Yorkshire derby in prospect in the League One final. Doncaster against Leeds. That's live next Sunday, 2:30, Sky Sports 2 and HD2. Who will claim their place alongside Rochdale in the League Two final? Stockport ahead on the night, 2-1 clear on aggregate. But Wycombe have responded well to the early setback, and Woodman looking for his captain for the free kick, but it got away.
Tried it early, didn't he? Spotted the run. Just couldn't get his first touch right. Drilled right across the park. Keeps his eye on it, but just heavy on his first touch.
Well, Russell Martin was around when Wycombe lost in the playoffs 2 seasons ago. They were beaten in the semi-finals then by Cheltenham. Wycombe's most recent experience of these dramatic end-of-season games. Oakes is still feeling the effects of that challenge that brought the booking for Leon McSweeney. And he's going to require treatment here.
It was a fierce tackle. First touch was on the ball, but then his follow-through was caught him. There again, good first touch in there. He comes flying in, he's off the floor, gets the ball, but then catches him and gets it trapped in between the legs. It is a fearsome tackle. It is the follow-through that causes the problem.
Stephen Oakes, another one of those who was in the playoffs 2 years ago. It's a moment of some concern, this, for Wycombe.
You don't want to lose him. One of your key players. To get him on the ball, sweet left foot.
Yes, if they win any free kicks in areas from which a shot can be tried, Oakes will be the man.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think at the moment, Wycombe are a little bit loath to push too many players forward, because when they have, they've got punished for the goal, and again they lost it in midfield 5 minutes ago, and again Stockport broke with numbers, and it's got to be a concern with these young legs coming at you when you give the ball away.
So Oakes will try and play on through the pain, and Stockport resume with Smith's throw. It's Turnbull's ball. Now Holt. This is Torres. Martin. Now Doherty. Here's Woodman. Now Doherty. Johnson. Now Woodman. Torres. It's a corner.
Well, he's the man you want on the ball in those areas. Quick feet, gets in the box. Can't commit yourself when he's running at you like that.
Well, Oakes is back on for the corner. Towards Williamson. Again, he and Dickinson right on top of each other.
Just don't get these corners. That's 3 exactly the same, and 3 have just not come off. High, hanging, difficult to attack, and they've all gone beyond the far post and come to nothing.
Here's Torres. Now Holt. Johnson. Here's Woodman. McLeish with the header. Cleared by Turnbull. Now Martin. McLeish. Done well to get away from Rose.
Again, the quality is just not good enough, is it? Having it right there, McLeish. The reverse turn. Right to the far post again.
Holt. Turnbull. Cleared by McNulty, but it was a wonderful idea from Oakes. McSweeney finding Dickinson. Rowe over to his left. Gleeson's burst through the middle as well.
Gets in the channel really well there. Dickinson drags his marker with him.
Smith's cross. Johnson had to deal with.
Nobody near the near post in a blue shirt there. Johnson could take no chances. He wasn't to know that. Decent ball in, shouldn't have been allowed to cross it, should have been closed down better. Look, not a blue shirt at the near post.
Well taken.
Was well taken. Come over a body there to grab that. To be fair, both keepers not really had a save to make, have they? Both quarter 2 or 3. No real shot to actually stop.
Here's Owen. Now Rose.
Good pressure from Torres.
Doherty. Smith won the race with Woodman.
He's been a really good outlet, Woodman, in this first half. Everything's coming out here. They could get him a little bit further forward. Of course, Stockport 1 or 2 problems.
Craig Woodman, who's been as far as a playoff final before with Bristol City, that they lost to Brighton. Run back by McLeish. Now Johnson. Here's Woodman again. Well won by McSweeney. Holt. Doherty. Woodman. Now Oakes. Beautiful control from Rowe. Took it away from Martin. Now Gleeson. Dickinson. Rose. Owens header away.
There's no chances. A long way out the sky, that one. They can play the 2 centre-halves, but when it needs to be put out, they don't take the chances, they just get red.
Here's Johnson. Now Woodman. Against Torres by McNulty. Torres.
The problem with the pitch is firm and the bounce is so unpredictable.
Woodman's throw into Delroy Facey. McLeish has a go. They were looking for a handball there against Rose. Nothing given, though. Here's Doherty. Oakes. Back in towards McLeish again. It's Rose who does meet it with his head this time. He's the man they were appealing against. May have been more in hope than expectation, but McLeish was, it seemed, convinced.
It was actually a good chance. Snatched that in a bit.
Owen's header away. Doherty on by Holt. Now McSweeney. Smith. Turnbull. Dicker. Rose.
Collision there as he tried to play that ball in. Claims for a penalty from Wycombe again. Facey wins it. Then McLeish doesn't get all of it. And that's not a penalty for me. He's bounced down. Tries to get a full volley in there. Doesn't. He just bounces up. That would have been harsh. Holt's in trouble. Rose tries to get it across. It bounces, bobbles, and there's no foul there. It's just a collision. Look at the bounce here, just as he goes to hit it. And Holt tries to close it down. It's one of those unfortunate ones that sometimes happen.
Well, Gary Holt, once a chef in the army, wasn't he? So a good old soldier that he is, sure that he'll quite happily carry on. How does Paul Lambert change this situation?
There's any panic on yet. Since the goal, his team haven't been overly threatened. Just keep it down to the 1-0, just going into half-time. Just put a bit more pressure on second half.
It's gone behind for a corner, and this is the opportunity to load men forward, something that Wycombe have been reluctant to do.
Oakes has taken this one. I'm sure we'll see a little bit better quality. Having said that, he'll probably let me down.
Here's Oakes who takes. That's over.
It's a better ball in. It's not as high, but nobody attacks it. It's a free take for Logan yet again. Nobody challenges him. Nobody puts him under pressure.
Here's Turnbull.
Delivery's not been good, has it? From all areas. The thing is, no matter ball's face he has won when he's flicked it on in open play. I think direct it towards him and he'll win you most of the balls in the air. Every corner's been poor. Something we've got to improve on second half. I'm sure Paul Lambert will be telling him exactly that.
Oakes. Away by Owen. Here's Torres. Now Woodman. Doherty. Ball in by Oakes. Holt looking to get there. McLeish couldn't keep the shot down.
Oh, Holt provided a decent block here, allowing it to run through. It's the left foot of Oakes again. See Holt's part, just blocks it off. He's just leaning backwards, can't get over. The bounce just deceives him. His form this season. You'd expect a little bit better than that. Be disappointed.
Scored more league goals in a season than any other Wycombe player. There's Oakes. Turnbull, Holt. There have been 3 minutes added on in the first half. Facey was looking to manoeuvre McNulty out of the way. He gave away the free kick.
He didn't need to do that, did he? He was under enough pressure there. Nulty. There, the little nudge in the back. Just keep the pressure on. Don't take it off. He does exactly that.
Here's Smith. Facey's header. Cleared by Dicker, that's Dickinson. McNulty. Oakes. Facey. Cleared by Owen. Here's Williamson. Facey. It's Martin who's got forward here for Wycombe. Holt. Cleared by Owen. Torres underneath it. Dirty!
That's better. Decent ball in the box this time from Gary Holt. Defending particularly well. Comes out the sky. Torres does well there. Good technique. Just doesn't get enough power. Straight at Logan. Either side. Got a chance.
Scored this season yet, Tommy Doherty. His third spell with the club after 2 previous loans. Here's Smith. Multi looking for Rowe. Away by Martin. There's Holt. Dicker. Rose. Now Rowe. Stockport on course for Wembley, thanks to Liam Dickinson, whose 20th goal of the season saw a winning of his duel with Mike Williamson, which has been a key battle in this first half, and one that Stockport lead 1-0 on the night, 2-1 on aggregate.
We already have a Yorkshire derby in the League One final at Wembley. We're closer now to a derby in the League Two final as well. Keith Hill's Rochdale already there. We get the views as well of Andy Ritchie. Stockport halfway there to Wembley. That man Liam Dickinson gets the goal. It is getting better all the time. Champions League final on Wednesday. Ahead of that on Tuesday, there's a big preview live from Moscow beginning at 7 o'clock on Sky Sports 1 and HD1. Then the match itself on Wednesday, the final between Manchester United and Chelsea. 6 o'clock it starts, Sky Sports 1 and HD1. Stockport have the edge here, 1 goal up. Liam Dickinson, the goal scorer, means they lead 2-1 on aggregate. They'll meet, if they go through, Keith Hill's Rochdale. And he's with us, and so is Andy Ritchie. First of all, Andy, is that about right on balance of play in the first half?
I think so, but they've sat back a little bit, Stockport. I think Wycombe have had a hell of a lot of possession. not really managed to carve out too many chances. One which Delroy Facey should have done better with, but you know, it's still on a knife edge, isn't it, really, because they only need one chance, and they have probed, and you know, they'll be disappointed with the goal, but they'll be pleased the way they come back after the disappointment of that goal.
Do you think they have recovered well, Wycombe, from the goal?
They've recovered well, but it's typically what Stockport do. They defend the lead really well. They've done it here a number of times this season. They did it against us. They got an early goal, sat back, got in shape and frustrated. They give you a lot of possession in front of the back four and the midfield unit. And I think they've got the capabilities to counter-attack, especially when they got Dickinson up front as well.
Danger man, isn't he? We said that before the game, and great pace, but defending on the halfway line wasn't great, Andy.
Well, no, I don't think Keith would have challenged like this on the halfway line. I think you'd have taken the ball and the man and everything, wouldn't you, Keith?
It's a great opportunity, isn't it?
It is early in the game, but then, I mean, after that, it's just about his pace, isn't it? Because Johnson isn't slow. It's always, you know, easier to run without the ball, but he's kept his composure. He gets a little bit of a knock at the end as well, which probably could have knocked his composure a little bit, but he's kept it. And it's a great finish, absolutely fantastic finish, and he deserves it. It was a great run on goal.
It's a skipper on the halfway line, isn't it, though, really, with a poor tackle. But as you say, I mean, even then, you fancy a defender to catch him, wouldn't you, really?
Well, like I said, Johnson's very quick, but obviously Dickinson a little bit quicker. And we're travelling with the ball as well. He shows such composure, but the challenge on the halfway line, it's a great opportunity to lay your marker down early on in the game. 50-50 challenge, all and often, and Dickinson got everything.
You haven't been making notes, but I suppose you know all about Liam Dickinson anyway, don't
we
you?
We certainly do, yeah. He's been a thorn in our side. He's scored 3 goals against us this season, so yeah, we know what he's capable of doing. Like I said, he plays like 2 strikers up front on his own.
Absolutely. Perhaps Wycombe's best chance, Andy, fell to Delroy Facey with a header.
Yes, definitely the best chance for Wycombe. And we've just been, you know, saying he probably should have done better, but this is a great ball in. Great leap from McLeish. And I think he's just trying to get too much power on it. I think if he just dinks it back to, you know, the way the ball's come from, we always say nod it back that way. The goalkeeper's come across. I think he could have just dinked it far post. And he knows it's a great chance. It was a great chance for him.
What do you think about the penalty claim against Stockport and Michael Rose there? Is that ball to hand or is that a penalty?
Ball to hand for me. I'd be disappointed if that was given against my side. But you can see why they are given. You know, it's definitely, well, it's touched his arm, you know, but I don't think he's made a lot of effort towards going towards the ball with his arm, but I don't know.
Just quickly, Andy, penalty for you or not? No? Yes? You're more inclined to...
I'm more inclined. I think he sort of turns and puts his arm out a little bit, but obviously the referee's the one who counts, and he didn't think it was.
Half-time, Stockport 1 up against Wycombe. These celebrity supporters, you know, they don't half feel it. Alan Parry, Associate Director of Wycombe Wanderers, suffering. The playoff finals kick off on Saturday with Bristol City and Hull playing for a place in the Premier League. 2 o'clock, Sky Sports 1 and HD1. And on Sunday, the League One Yorkshire derby between Doncaster and Leeds playing for a place in the Championship. 2:30, Sky Sports 2 and HD2. And we're still sorting out the League Two playoff final. Rochdale are there. Jim Gannon Stockport have a place there already partly booked. They're 1 goal up against Wycombe, who've had their chances and their penalty claims. But it's Stockport leading 1-0 thanks to Liam Dickinson. And good news for Wycombe, their delayed coaches have finally arrived. Perhaps they'll change their luck in the second half. They're 1 goal down at half-time. The Wycombe supporters, Stockport leading thanks to Liam Dickinson's goal. 45 more minutes at least to come. Back to our commentators, Gary Birtles and Rob Hawthorne.
Well, those late arrivals missed that goal, which came in the first 10 minutes of the contest for Liam Dickinson. But what response can Wycombe have after Paul Lambert's half-time talk? Certainly they'll look for more from the corners that they win in the second half than they produced in the first.
Well, he sent them out early, didn't they? Paul Lambert, I don't think he's that pleased with what he's seen. Although his team did respond really well. I thought they came back into it towards the latter stages of that first half. Just the quality's got to improve in that final third.
So Rochdale await the winners in the final. Stockport have already completed a league double over them this season. Wycombe have won 1 and lost 1. But Wycombe here have 45 minutes left in which to save their season, because as with all of their playoffs, a whole season is pretty much now concentrated on 3 matches. And for Wycombe, the journey could end here. As Rowe. On by Dickinson. McSweeney trying to win it, and has shown great persistence in doing so. Cleared by Johnson.
Well, second favourite, didn't he there, McSweeney, but battled on. Got something out of it for his team.
McSweeney, a young player brought in from Cork in Ireland. There's Gleeson, another Irishman, Stephen Gleeson again.
Quite the same effect as last week.
Here's Torres.
I think he could be the key to Wycombe getting back in this game, Torres. He's the one prepared to run at defenders, commit them.
Here's Oakes. Looking for Scott McLeish, who got his head on it.
Well, he does attack it so well. Not the biggest, but he does hang well in the air. You watch him come across the centre half, he looks favourite, just gets half a yard, doesn't get it on target, but he's really got a good leap in him.
Paul Lambert led Wycombe to 12th in his first season in charge, so progress this year as they've finished 7th, the lowest placed team in the playoffs. Stockport, who finished just outside the automatic zone, in a good position. Here's Rowe. Cleared by Martin.
An important challenge that was.
Smith with a throw. Here's McSweeney. Back up against Smith. Well, the team finishing closest to automatic promotion is a good omen for this division, which will boost Stockport. 12 of the last 17 winners of the playoff final in this division have finished just outside the automatic promotion zone. Turnbull. Torres. Now Doherty. Johnson. Torres. Now Holt. Doherty. Oakes. Holt to Martin. Clearing header by Owen. It's Gary Holt. And cleared by Rose this time. Only to Doherty. Woodman. Facey. Delroy faces attempt cut out by Owen.
Positive start by Wycombe. Attacking their own fans this second half.
Here's Doherty. Now Martin. Rowe. Dickinson just tried to ease Williamson out of the way, and in his attempt to get back at him, Williamson, who felt aggrieved at the initial challenge anyway, just caught him.
You see, battles well, something on the ball, and then he goes over.
Here's Rose. Now Rowe. Stopped for now by Doherty. Rowe again. Rowe. Martin. Holt. Turnbull, now Doherty.
Problem Wycombe are finding at the moment, it's difficult to get past Dicker and Turnbull, those two protective midfield players.
Johnson.
He doesn't want back passes like that.
Dicker. Gleeson. Rose. Gleeson. Dickinson. Turnbull's free, but it's McSweeney who has the effort. Here's Smith. Gleeson. Clearing header by Doherty. Controlled by Oakes, now Torres. McLeish. Won by McNulty. Gleeson looking for Dickinson. Broken away from Williamson again, but needs support. McSweeney's in the middle.
Confident enough to go by himself there. Just starting to open up a little bit, isn't it?
Here's Facey. Back by Martin. Dicker. Here's Smith. The county fans are certainly cranking up the noise.
Well, they realise it's such a slender lead, they just want that other goal to settle nerves a little bit.
Rowe. Doherty made life difficult for him by squeezing his body in the way. Here's Martin with space to move into, and he's made up good ground here. McLeish has made a move to the right.
Well, he was on the move, wasn't he? McLeish tried to play it into his feet.
Here's Doherty. Oakes. Tommy Doherty. Torres. Dispossessed by Dicker. Dickinson, though, has lost out to Holt. Williamson. Torres. Holt. Freeing up Martin. Blocked by Rose. Holt. Doherty. Here's Woodman. Got away from McSweeney. Woodman again. Trying to measure a ball in for Holt here, and he won the header! Logan got a hand to it, and that was enough.
It certainly was. It was a good hand as well. Pushed it away from the danger area.
Doherty. Free kick given against Dickinson. He's not particularly pleased about it.
Well, Gary Holt goes in. It's a lovely little ball. Gets in that gap between the full-back centre-half, puts it back across. Big, strong hand on it. Nobody following in for Wycombe. Does the right thing, goes across the keeper, scrambles across. Anybody coming in there? There's just been a tap-in, but you don't see a red and white shirt there.
Well, we mentioned in the first half the danger of Oakes from free kicks. It's a long way out, this one. But if you can measure one in there, the likes of Williamson would look to get on the end of it. Header was dipping, but not quickly enough.
McLeish is good in the air, but you'd think that Facey would have been the man at the far post. Well, this tells you what a strong start Wycombe have made this second half. Stepped it up a level. Desperate to get back in.
They needed to pick it up, and they have. Paul Lambert, who's never been to Wembley, hoping that he will get the first opportunity to do that, in charge of Wycombe. But the task on here to overhaul that first half goal from Dickinson.
Oh, well done again, Logan. Came out, saw the danger early. Only one winner in a challenge like this. There he comes, grabs it confidently. McLeish just gives him an elbow in the side.
Johnson. Oakes.
Almost looks like Wycombe went the goal down early, and then they didn't want to commit bodies forward, keep it at 1-0, and then second half just up the ante a little bit. It's exactly what they've done at the start of this second half.
Holt. Now Doherty. Here's Oakes. Having a go.
Oh, was it a shot? Was it a cross? Everybody expected that. One touch away from his body, drives it across. Sure, whether he knows whether it was a shot or a cross.
Well, some of them didn't get here until late, but they're enjoying what they're seeing now, the Wycombe fans. It's more like it.
Certainly is. He'll be a lot happier with the way his team have come out second half. We heard at half-time from the boys in the studio that Stockport do like defending the lead, can defend the lead.
Dickinson. So he might have controlled it with his hand, but it's broken in Wycombe's favour anyway. Oakes picks out Torres. Unable to conjure anything because Turnbull has closed him down so well.
Yeah, you've got to get past those two, Turnbull and Dicker. So difficult because their discipline is so good. They're very loath to go over the halfway line. And young lads, the discipline is particularly good.
Here's Doherty. Now Martin. Woodman. Facey having to show his strength here against McNulty to try and shrug him off. Needs support. It's Woodman. Blocked by McSweeney. Now Oakes.
Just defending a little bit deeper now, Stockport, allowing that ball to be fed into Facey and to McLeish. With the confidence to push up on the edge of the box.
Here's Torres. McLeish!
Again, he's so good in those areas, but it's the delivery from Torres is so good. Gets across his man and it's so close to the equaliser. Lovely little bit of play by Torres. Puts a decent quality in at last for Wycombe. And again, it's McLeish. Really gets his team back in it.
Well, as things stand, Scott McLeish is heading for his fourth playoff semi-final disappointment. Suffered 2 with Barnet, 1 with Northampton. He's never scored in the playoffs either. It's a good opening for him a moment ago, and with half an hour left, is there still hope here for Wycombe?
Certainly on the evidence of what we've seen second half, yes. But that ball was hit with such quality and such pace. He got a head on it, and it's difficult to get it on target when it comes in with that pace. Because there is a lot of wind out there as well. It's moving about. Hit the target, you feel it would have been 1-1. Logan, for once, was a little bit flat-footed with that one. He would have got near it.
Woodman's free kick. Facey won the header, cleared by Dickinson, then by Rowe.
Time they did put Facey at the far post.
Here's Woodman. Given away to Dicker, and this is the danger for Wycombe if Stockport can spring clear. Gleason's through the middle, Dickinson's forward as well. Woodman stops their progress. By Holt. Shove on Turnbull.
One thing Stockport will know is if Wycombe keep pushing players forward, they can catch them out on the counter with Dickinson's pace. We've seen for the goal how lethal he is. So they've got to be wary a little bit, Wycombe.
Woodman. Now Doherty. Nolte. Smith. Facey. Power his way through Delroy Facey. Gleason. Attempt to win the ball, but this time from Oakes.
Right on top of it, D'Urso.
Victim of one in the first half, booked for one in the second.
A real protest here from Oakes. There. Oh, did he get a toe on that before he followed through? Not so sure, it was only a faint one if he did, and there's Mr. D'Urso's position. Saw it all.
Thankfully, we haven't seen as many cautions in this game as we did in the first, certainly not so far, and things have been a little more peaceful between the two managers.
Thankfully. Stewards thought they were having a quiet afternoon, just stood there watching the game.
A game like their relationship on something of a knife edge. Smith with the throw. Now Gleason. Oakes. Gleason. Dickinson went down. No foul by Woodman.
Well, not happy with that. The assistant didn't give it, neither did the referee, and he's got to be careful. Andy D'Urso telling him. Balls slipped through to him. He said, definitely didn't touch him, he said. Gannon not happy. A little bit of luck from Paul Lambert there, not impressed.
Turnbull. Here's Dickinson. Starts his ball. Now McLeish. Looking for Holt. Rose had to cut it out and did his job. Martin. Here's Woodman. McLeish, this is Oakes. Good work from Oakes. Can't finish it off.
He was desperate to get it on his left foot, wasn't he? He eventually did it. Good bit of passage of play again. Keep the ball well there. Gets it on his left foot, across the goalkeeper. Doesn't hit the target. It's getting better and better for Wycombe. They're getting closer.
He scored against two of the top three for Paul Lambert's side this season. Stephen Oakes scored against Hereford, scored against Peterborough. But Wycombe didn't beat any of the top four during the course of the season, whereas Stockport did have a better record against sides at that level. They've won against all of them around them in the top 7 and 1 at each of the 3 automatically promoted sides. Here's Martin. Torres. Woodman. Martin. Good. Gleeson. Here's Dicker. It's come back off Martin, and Dickinson showing interest. It's Liam Dickinson. Well, he had Gleeson to pull it back to. It's fallen anyway to Rowe, and Doherty has closed him down.
Give Williamson credit there, stood his ground, to dive in.
Here's Torres. Holt. Facey!
I just think he chose the wrong option there. With an adrenaline rush. Again, it's Torres who makes the break. Good awareness by Holt, lays it in his path, one touch, and you can see the goal. It's an acute angle. Does really well Torres, as does Holt. I think he'd be better putting it across the face here. It's got to be an absolute stunner from there to beat the goalkeeper.
Stockport making a change. They're bringing on Jason Taylor and taking off their first leg goal scorer, Stephen Gleeson, who might have expected congratulatory messages from his parents after that stunning volley in Adams Park. Instead, got a text from his mum telling him to get his hair cut. Well, now he's, having played his part in the tie, making his way off here to be replaced by another of the Stockport youngsters, 21-year-old Jason Taylor. He disappeared from the team towards the end of the season. He's only played once in the last 4 games, but he's on here at a vital stage of the game. Just a quarter of the game left, and Stockport needing to hang on to what they have already to see them through to Wembley.
Did he get his hair cut, by the way?
He did.
Right, that's all right. Always listen to your mum, mum knows best. He's getting a lot of stick from the crowd, Doherty, but he's been quite influential. Does the easy thing, sits back and pulls the strings.
Maybe 1 or 2 challenges in the first game that have fired up the crowd against him and made him a bit of a villain of the piece here, Doherty. So the lead is still a precarious one for Stockport. How they would dearly love the comfort of a second goal.
Jim Gannon was slightly concerned the way Wycombe have fought their way back into this and are pushing his team further and further back.
Yes, he kept it in. Here's McLeish. Well, he's had his part to play with the 2 legs, Stephen Gleeson. His second loan here from Wolves, and his second of the season. He was on loan at Hereford earlier in the campaign.
Clash again between Dickinson and Johnson. Eye on the ball. There's a quick look. It's a decent challenge between the 2 of them.
Fielding's kick coming out to Facey. Rose. Fielding coming a long way. Williamson. Now Smith. There's Woodman. Dickinson. Here's McSweeney.
Taylor. We saw the problem there when Dickinson's not up there.
lack of options are very evident. At least limited that. I thought it was a Wycombe ball. It's 3 years since Wycombe were at League One level. They were bottom of the division that season, the year after Wycombe had finished bottom. Offside against Rowe. A little bit too early, didn't he? There, just got in a good position as well. Rose, crossed by Torres. Becoming more of an influence, Torres, as the game goes on. Here's Oakes. Torres struck Rose, corner. When he gets hold of it, it sticks. When he's in the box, he just dared dive in. I know they like defending Leeds, Stockport, but it's very precarious to try and do it. Well, the Wycombe crowd behind Logan's goal, expectant here. As Oakes lines up. Crucial corner. Williamson beaten to it by Dickinson. They just can't get any headway, can they, Stockport? Can't get out their own half. Dickinson's having to get back and help out. Well, there it tells you a story. The away team doubled the home team. There's a couple on target. But that's the game plan for Stockport. They are confident in protecting Leeds. Well, see if they can do it for the last 20 minutes. Torres. There's Doherty. Oakes. Now Woodman. Tommy Doherty. Stephen Oakes, Rose climbing. Here's Torres. That's where you want to see Facey attacking that in the middle of the goal. Twixt in between there from Torres. Dicker. Williamson. Smith. Johnson's header. Now Torres. Foul. Towards McLeish. Holt rescues it. Closing down by Turnbull. It's busy there by Logan. His kick, Facey's there and got underneath it. He certainly did. He nudged his man out the way. Again, it's Oakes' quality causes the problem.
There you see a little nudge away and just can't get over the top of it. There is a nudge. It just comes right at the top of his head, way over, and he knows what a decent half chance that was.
Well, they're sacrificing Sergio Torres here to throw another striker on. Leon Knight, who started his career at Chelsea, has had 8 clubs since and scored for one of them in a playoff final. Brighton, he got the winner back in 2004. And how Wycombe need a goal from him now in this last quarter of an hour.
Yeah, he's a player who can do that. I'm surprised that Torres is meant to come off unless he's injured. He's the one who's been pulling the strings in and around the box, who looks to open them up, but not anymore.
Taylor. Here's Dickinson. Well, he's shown plenty of strength at both ends tonight.
He certainly has. He's been very good defensively. Johnson not happy. Thought he was backing in there, Dickinson. He's finally relieved a little bit of pressure because there's been a lot on it. Second half.
Flew in for the corner as well, met by fielding the goalkeeper, but then Taylor and McSweeney got in each other's way. Woodman with the throw. Oakes. Dicker. Now Rose. Doherty.
Dicker saying, come on, show yourself for me.
Here's Oakes with a free kick. Cleared by Taylor. By Woodman. Climbs, Smith away. Here's Dickinson.
They look fully confident in their own ability to defend a narrow lead, don't they? Showing no panic.
A Stockport substitution, McSweeney being replaced by Anthony Pilkington. Johnson. There's Knight. Just real involvement for Knight since he came on. It's a good run he's made. Here's Rowe. Rose has pushed up to his left here. Making it hard for him to turn, and Martin clears. That's McLeish. Facey. Well, he struggled, but he's trying to pull clear of McNulty here, who's got hold of his shirt.
Well, it looked like a free kick to me. Great strength by Facey. It's a good battle. Both honest all there, and then there's the shirt tug. That is a free kick. The assistant could see that.
Corner it is, though, and it's Stephen Oakes to take for Wycombe. But Andy D'Urso is looking at the crowd scene around Conrad Logan here. It's McLeish he's calling out.
They did it last time, didn't he? Previous corner. His arms were up, trying to block the goalkeeper's run. And the arms go up yet again, as do Leon Knight's.
It's Williamson's header. Even though the goalkeeper probably had it covered, Gary Dicker had to be absolutely sure. Williamson's there again. Now McLeish.
You're right. You're right. You can't take chances there.
Pilkington's ball up. Rowe is furthest forward here. Could have been an unsettling moment. Here's Pilkington. Woodman away. Leach came back a long way to win the header. Off the arm of Rowe for the free kick. Ball in. Williamson helping it back. Rose is there to clear though.
He's taken some terrific positions, second half Rose.
Holt keeping the pressure on. Facey looking to win the header. Oakes. Smith gets it clear, and Taylor will move up onto the shoulder of Gary Holt here. Cool under that kind of pressure.
There we see the problem for Wycombe. They're pushing so many bodies forward. Gaps are appearing.
Turnbull has fed it through. The flag's up against Pilkington. Just broke too soon.
Didn't they do well? Just stood up there, Wycombe. See the blue shirts getting forward here. There, just on that line, you see, it goes beyond it. Decision.
Line that we can see, because this is a ground that Stockport share with the South Sharks rugby team. I'm sure it doesn't help in terms of the state of the surface, and bearing that in mind, the pitch has held up quite well. McLeish. Cleared by Rose. Holt. Doherty from Owen.
Full-blooded challenge, wasn't it? A long kick, tries to get through the bodies, and there, right on the cheekbone. See it again, right to the back of Doherty's head there.
Gareth Owen is the Stockport player down. It's a big week for Gareth Owen, because he can secure Wembley here, and he's a Chelsea fan. And make sure you're with us on Wednesday when the Premier League show goes on the road to Moscow for the Champions League final. Manchester United against Chelsea, live Sky Sports 1, HD1 from 6 o'clock. Maybe he'll be preparing for a Wembley final while watching his favourite team in action. Certainly Stockport are closing in now on their place in what would be a derby final against Rochdale, and this is the reason why at the moment they're dreaming of Wembley.
Yeah, they give it away, Wycombe, don't they? Then they could have won it again here, gets a deflection, and this is where they really lost it. Not a good challenge at all, and his pace gets him away, his strength, his desire, Johnson tries his best, and the finish, after all that, is superb.
Jim Gannon on the brink of doing for Stockport as a manager what he did as a player, appearing at Wembley.
It was a full-blooded challenge, wasn't it? Caught the back of Doherty's head. He had the worst to start with. It's close to the cheekbone.
Well, Mark already starting to show with a bit of swelling for Owen. We want to get back in there to defend against this Oakes free kick, which is up towards Facey. And hair away, though, by Dickinson. He really has done that side of the game well as providing the goal.
He's done superbly back there. Whenever it's been thrown in there, 2 or 3 times he's won the aerial battle for his team.
Player Dickinson, who came up through the Blackburn Academy, but actually came to this club from Woodley Sports in the Northern Premier League.
Well, I know myself, having come that route through non-league, there are players out there. People are prepared to take a chance with them.
£2,000, he didn't turn out to be a bad buy, did he, Dickinson?
Excellent at the moment. You can work with them if they've got that natural ability and that rawness. You can get them in training, you can work with them, you can those edges off the game and turn them into what we're seeing now.
Stockport County, 3 minutes away from being the pride of Cheshire. They regard themselves as a Cheshire club, not a Manchester club, despite being in a close catchment area with United and City.
Well, there's going to be a bit of injury time as well now, isn't there? For that injury.
Could still be a nervous close to the game for them, but they are closing in on a Wembley final. There's Taylor. And again. Now Dickinson. Put in by Jason Taylor. Dickinson has gone down injured. Because he was a doubt the week of the first leg with a hamstring problem.
I think Stockport fans won't want to see start that there.
There's Woodman. Oakes. Johnson. Cleared by Martin. Cleared by Turnbull. Here's Williamson. Still, Dickinson is not getting back up onto his feet. Oakes, for Facey from the cross. And Facey has a go. Knight has a go as well and strikes his own man. It seemed to me to strike his own captain Williamson, although the Wycombe players were appealing for a handball.
Leon Knight certainly is to Andy Durso.
Up goes Facey with the header. Williamson is still in there. McLeish controlling. Here's Holt, drifting a dangerous one in, and it's lifted over the top by Knight.
Oh, what a chance that is. Lovely ball in by Holt. McLeish does well. Look at this ball. Drifted to the far post. Just got to hit the target. Lovely ball. Floated into the far post. Just hit the target. Across the goalkeeper. Paul Lambert knows that's exactly what he should have done. And it's the same man who had a penalty claim turned down. Here he knocks it into the ground again. It does hit the arm, but again it's smashed into the ground first, the same as McLeish in the first half, and he can't get out of the way.
Well, Liam Dickinson, the goal scorer, is going off. And Wycombe have made a change too. They've brought on John Sutton in place of Craig Woodman. John Sutton, younger brother of Chris Sutton, comes on for his 200th appearance in the British game. And Wycombe have got 5 minutes of stoppage time to try and save their season.
Well, not what the Stockport fans wanted to see, 5 minutes. Now they're without Dickinson.
Well, Dickinson has been replaced by a defender in Tunnicliffe, who's now back there trying to help out. Here's Holt. And the break is on here for Taylor. He's the furthest player forward, though. He had to wait for support to arrive. It has now with Rowe. Here's Pilkington. Trying to do the professional thing and just holding it up. Way back though. And Oakes looks to get Wycombe moving again. There's Knight. Now facing.
Anywhere will do at the moment.
Lambert comes onto the pitch. He doesn't want a second wasted here.
Jim Callan just let it hit his shins and roll back onto the pitch. Lambert saw it, dashed on and got it for his team.
Again, he's having to play ball boy because no one in the Stockport crowd is too happy to release the ball too quickly. They've thrown as many men forward as they can gamble on doing now. Oakes is having to stay back since Woodman went off. Will they get the break? It's Holt's header. Facey challenges for it. Will it break for Johnson here?
Fell to the wrong man there, didn't it?
It's overload at the front now for Paul Lambert. Look how many up there. Oakes, well, the boot of Taylor was high and Wycombe get the free kick, and Taylor just delays the taking of it by moving the ball away.
Living on the edge at the moment, Stockport. Keep being put in the box, getting away with it at the moment.
The lead they had was an early one. It's a really disappointing kick that from Oakes, and it could cause problems. Taylor, though, unable to make anything of it. Cleared then by Owen, that was Oakes. Now Doherty. Wycombe looking for a frenetic finish here. Cleared by McNulty. Still the pressure is kept up. It's Holt. And they're towards Knight. Cleared away by Dicker, though. On by Johnson. And Pilkington relieved to get that one away.
Fielding right out his goal.
Stephen Oakes. Doesn't need anything too pretty now, nothing subtle. Here's Rowe, and away goes Rose. This could be the crowning glory for Stockport. He just hesitated, and that allowed Facey to come back.
The important thing, he's got a corner for his team. He was prepared to get forward, get in an area. It looked a little bit alien to him.
Well, the Stockport fans are straining at the least to celebrate. He's trying to keep his calm. The agony for Paul Lambert. Liam Dickinson's goal is the difference. Is it going to be enough? It's torture, this, for the manager of the visitors while it's at the other end. And his team's hopes for this season disappearing before his eyes.
I think his team have acquitted themselves really well this second half. Straight from the whistle, they were positive. They've thrown everything at Stockport, but Stockport have held out. Taken everything on the chin, defended well, got players behind the ball.
Well, they're looking to mount one last attack. Taylor, though, frustrating them. The big boot upfield from Martin. Will they get the break from Facey? Turnbull's won it. Pilkington's forward. Oakes' header carries. There's been a check on the watch. shots already from Andy D'Urso. We've played the 5 minutes he allocated. It's Sutton. Sutton has a go. Stockport County at Wembley. Jim Gannon will be leading his team out there. There is a handshake between two managers, between whom it seemed there had been some ill feeling in the tie. But respect there from Paul Lambert for what Stockport have achieved in getting to the playoff final. There will be a derby in the League Two final between Stockport and Rochdale, and just look at the joy at Edgeley Park. It was very much on the edge at the end as Wycombe were throwing everything at it, trying to get their equaliser, but that early goal from Liam Dickinson in the end proved enough.
It certainly did, and once they'd got that goal, they believed in their own ability and determination, desire to hold on to that lead. The boys said at half-time in the studio, that's what they do. They believe in defending the leads, and they're set up like that with Dicker and Turnbull in there to protect, and everything that was thrown at them second half was defended superbly. You have to admit that Wycombe stepped it up second half. They gave everything they possibly could, had a couple of half chances. Leon Knight, for me, was the best chance, and he hit the target. I think we could have seen extra time, but it was a terrific second half, and dear, I wouldn't like to defend like that for the whole of a game. You're on a knife edge for the whole 90 minutes when you do that.
Well, Jim Gannon goes up to enjoy the celebration with his chairman and with his family. But delight evident for Stockport and justified. There at Wembley, they've beaten Wycombe here by 1-0, 2-1 on aggregate.
Yeah, it was backs to the wall for most of that second half by Stockport, but they got there in the end. And Wycombe Wanderers, brave effort in this second leg. To no avail in the end. Their season's over. Stockport will go to Wembley to face Keith Hill's Rochdale. Keith, was that the team you suspected you'd have to play?
Well, especially when they took the lead. You know, they're very good at defending that lead, and they rolled the luck a little bit in the second half, but I think deserved winners over the two games.
I suppose now it's the Dream League 2 final, isn't it, with the Greater Manchester teams involved?
Well, it is. I think it's great for the North West, and you know, hopefully it's going to be a good occasion. I hope majority of the Manchester people do go to Wembley and make it as big a crowd as we possibly can, but ultimately we're going there to win it, as will Stockport, but you know, hopefully it'll be a good game to watch as well.
Sure it will. Let's have a look at them then. On Monday, May the 26th, it will be Rochdale against Stockport, the League 2 playoff final, 2:30, Sky Sports 2 and HD 2. It all begins, though, next Saturday in the Championship. Bristol City against Hull, 2 o'clock, Sky Sports 1 and HD 1. And the League 1 final is also a derby game. It's a Yorkshire derby next Sunday, Doncaster against Leeds, 2:30, Sky Sports 2 and HD 2. We'll get some considered views from Keith Hill and Andy Ritchie in a moment and get a reaction from downstairs. But Liam Dickinson scored 20 goals this season. None more important than that. Stockport County go to Wembley for the League 2 playoff final. And they're enjoying every moment of this. There's Liam Dickinson, the goal scorer, right in the middle there. 20 goals this season for him. And the fans really responding to a backs-to-the-wall performance by Stockport after that goal went in. But they are through 1-1 at Wycombe. And they've won 1-0 here at Edgeley Park. Keith Hill did say Stockport do love to defend a lead. You were absolutely right there, but they cut it a bit fine, didn't they, Keith?
I think they defended a little bit too deep in the second half. They invited a lot of pressure, and Wycombe created 1 or 2 opportunities and could have possibly done better. So they do defend it, they do defend a good lead well, but probably a little bit too deep second half for my liking.
And they're very, very good on the counter-attack, aren't they? Very quick.
Well, they are. When Dickinson's on the pitch, you know, he's got pace to burn, and it is a good... you know, bit of ammunition that they've got there with his pace, just hitting people on the break, knocking things in behind, and they're certainly enjoying it, the fans, aren't they?
I think Jim Cannon's had that shirt printed pretty quick, hasn't he? That was ready.
Tempting fate with that.
kept it quiet until the event. But he has really done well here at Stockport, hasn't he? After You know, Anthony Elding had to be sold. I know you had to sell a player as well, didn't you? You know, your top striker, Glenn Murray, had to be sold as well, didn't he?
Yeah, it's difficult replacing those players. You know, Glenn had to go for financial reasons, but we replaced him well with Rennie out. And we've come out the other side and done extremely well. And I think Jim's in a similar sort of position. He's trying to nurture a team. He's bringing the youth team players through, and he's doing it very well.
It's very early to think about it, Keith, but what kind of final would you expect the two teams, yours and Stockport's, to put up?
Well, a footballing final. You know, I think it'll be quite cagey, as we see how Stockport's set up. You know, they've got two defensive midfield players. We like to play very offensive. We hold a good line, but obviously they've got a massive threat in Liam Dickinson.
How are you on the touchline with Jim Gannon? You're
fine,
right?
yeah, we're good mates, me and Jim. Not too bad. He's scared of David, if I'm being perfectly honest. There's a lot of managers who scared of Flicker.
Yeah.
There's a lot of managers scared of Flicker.
That's a relief anyway. Let's see the goal. Liam Dickinson's goal, which takes Stockport to Wembley. Dodgy defending on the halfway line, Andy, but great finish.
Yeah, I mean, we've already said that really when the ball comes to the halfway line, it comes to Dickinson. The defender, Williamson, should take everything there. The ball, the man, the lot. It's early in the game, as we say, but then it's all about his pace and his composure at the end of it with a great finish. And, you know, no wonder a lot of people are looking at him because that is a top-class finish. To keep your composure there, get a little nudge as well, and wait for the keeper to sell himself. Fantastic.
Easier said than done, Keith, but have you got to deny him grass to run on?
Well, he's encouraged by grass to run on, but I just think it was a defensive mistake. I think the defender will look back at that over and over again over the next couple of weeks and think he should have done better in the initial challenge.
Yeah. Hey, we talked about a handball in the first half, which probably wasn't on balance. I think you both agreed, although you might have given it, Andy. But this second half one, I mean, what do you make of this? This is Jamie Smith, isn't it?
I'm not going to be denied on this one. I think this is handball.
You're definitely giving this one.
This is handball.
This.
I mean, that's handball in anybody's book.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where the referee was stood, but because we can't see him in picture, so he's there. He's off to the left. No, he's got a good view of that, and that's handball.
Yeah, he raises his arm towards the bounce of the ball.
Yeah,
so,
and he moves towards
that's
it
deliberate,
with his hand,
definitely deliberate handball.
So Wycombe, do you think a bit hard done by there?
I think so. I think they've got a real good shout for a penalty there, but they had one or two good chances in the second half as well.
They were knocking on the door, weren't they? Did Leon Knight have a great chance?
Yeah, I thought that was probably the best of the chances they had. McLeish had a header that flashed wide of the post, but he's got to hit the target there. I think we see on replay it hits his shin. I don't think he makes contact with his foot. It actually hits his shin. That's why he's not even hit the target.
I mean, Wycombe might feel hard done by, but Keith, they did all they could, didn't they?
Yeah, they did everything they possibly could. They forced the issue in the second half. They had a lot of possession in front of Stockport, but then started throwing balls into the box, and ultimately they got a few chances through doing that. But, you know, I think you've got to give credit to Stockport. Yeah. You know, they defended the lead very well.
They did. The lead provided by Liam Dickinson. He's talking to us now alongside Gary Dicker, both with James Cooper.
Liam, the biggest game of your career so far, and I guess the biggest goal.
Yeah, definitely. It was a really important goal, not just for me, for the lads as well. You know, we all worked so hard for it, and it was well deserved.
You seemed to have the ball for eternity before it ended up in the back of the net.
Yeah, I had a lot of time to think about it. I think I had too much time at one point. You know, I just managed to nick it past the keeper. You know, I thought he was going to save it, but luckily enough, it went in.
2.5 years ago, you're playing non-league football. Now you're going to Wembley. Is this dream stuff?
It's just unbelievable. It's just a dream come true. You know, not just for myself, for the lads as well. Everyone's so excited.
Tell us about the T-shirt.
It's for the kit man. You know, his missus is struggling a bit with the babies, having a bit of a hard time. So it's just, you know, just to cheer her up a little bit.
Gary, a lot of talk about this being a young team. You had to show a lot of courage and commitment in that second half, didn't you?
Yeah, it's a very young squad, and we just had to dig deep, and we got the win that we needed. It's just great.
They came at you though, didn't they?
Yeah, they threw everything at us. I think they had 4 forwards on at the end, but we stood strong and done our job. Just delighted we're in Wembley.
Your first season in English football, you're now at Wembley. It's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great move. Some people question me coming here saying League 2, but where else will you get a chance to play in Wembley? So you just have to take it with 2 hands, and hopefully you get a win and go up.
Liam, a word about the fans. They came in their droves here and they've supported you all season, haven't they?
It's just unreal. I say this every week, every time I get interviewed, the fans are just different class. You know, they just come no matter how far it is, away matches. I think there was about 2,000 at Wycombe. It's just unbelievable. They get you through the game, and that's what you need.
And now a local affair in London against Rochdale.
It's going to be unbelievable. You know, I watched the game today. Rochdale looked good. battled hard, and it's going to be another tough game. But you know, the lads are up for it, 110%.
The manager's keeping a low profile. Tell us what he said to you in the dressing room afterwards.
Nothing much. He's just delighted for everyone. He's so proud of us as a team and as a club, which I think everyone is.
Congratulations, gentlemen. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Yeah, great stuff. The goal will take pride of place by Liam Dickinson, but what a worker as well in defence, Andy, winning all the headers he did.
Well, he was the difference in both boxes, wasn't he? He scored his goal, and you know, as a defensive player today, every single ball I think that they threw in, corners, free kicks, he won the headers, and that's a great asset to have. He was fantastic in both boxes.
You know, the fans are going to love going to Wembley, we understand that, but you sometimes forget that it's the players, you know, managers and staff as well. It's a chance to go to Wembley, which doesn't come along all the time, does it?
Well, it doesn't. I was unfortunate that I didn't play at Wembley, but I've got my opportunity to manage at Wembley, and you know, it is an opportunity for the players. It's one that they've been looking forward to, but these two playoff games, they're very hard fought, and we have got the opportunity now, and it's about making the most of it, and for the fans as well. You know, they'll have a good time anyway, but it'll be a better time when you win a fixture.
Yeah, and you've taken teams there, Andy. Does it go very quickly, the whole preparation thing? How important is it to get the preparation just spot on for these games?
Well, I think it is, but that's when the manager earns his corn. You know, he's got to get everything right. He's got to take everything on board. The players just turn up, but he'll be thinking how to keep them, you know, on an even keel. What training should we do? Should we not do this? Should we do that? And that, people don't realise what you have to go through to get there, and then you go through the 90 minutes or whatever it is, trying to, you know, second think what the other team's going to do.
And even more important than a cup final, if you like, isn't it? Because it changes your career, changes your season, doesn't it? One game.
Well, one game, you know, a possibility of getting promotion, you know, and that's what it comes down to. You know, you do your 46 games. Unfortunately, we didn't finish in the top three, but it comes down to a one-game situation at Wembley. And, you know, it's imperative we go there and have a good account of ourselves, but we're going there to win. You know, ultimately, we do want promotion, and this is our opportunity to get promoted.
Just 2 points between you, I think, over the season, wasn't it, Stockport?
Yeah,
Rochdale?
just 2 points. They beat us twice in the league. You know, Dickinson scored 3 goals against us, but that's all history now.
It's not often a team wins 3 times in the season, is it?
No, that's encouraging. It's right, though. It is right. There's no question about that. But we're going there to win it, and we're very confident, we're very capable, but also Stockport are going there to win it as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Let's hear from the beaten manager, Paul Lambert's the manager of Wycombe, and he's with James Cooper now.
Paul, one of the tougher days to be a manager, I guess.
Yeah, never. It's not the greatest feeling at the minute, but we'll have to get over it, and that's the way the game goes.
I mean, thanks for coming out. What did you say to the players? They gave you everything that second half, didn't they?
They were brilliant. I couldn't ask for any more, and sometimes you need a little bit of luck to go your way, but I couldn't fault them for effort and to come here and play the way we did. I thought the lads were terrific.
Was it just about not getting a break today? Because certainly your hard work deserved a break, didn't it?
Yeah, sometimes you don't get them. I know you need a bit of luck in football at times, but we came up here and played really strongly, and we looked as if we were going to go and get something. But credit to Stockport, they defended strongly.
There was talk about their inexperience, their youth, but they showed a great deal of resilience that second half, didn't they?
The inexperience will only come if they've not played many games. The young lads have played a lot of games, so they know exactly what it's about. The crowd is vibrant, no doubt, but we gave absolutely everything, and the players were terrific.
From what you've seen of Rochdale and Stockport for the final, I mean, who would you think would come away and get the promotion? It's
going to be a close call. It really is. I think in a final, any given day, anybody can beat anybody. There's two good sides in there, and good luck to what one goes up.
And standing here, it's about rolling up the sleeves and going again. August, isn't it?
You have to. There is no. You have more disappointments in football. You have highs. You just make sure when you have a disappointment, you come back strongly, and I'm sure that's what the lads will do.
Before we sit the game, we talked about taking the pressure off the players. I guess now your job is to pick them up and forget how miserable you might be feeling.
Absolutely, we're all feeling the same. Everybody feels hurt, and But listen, you'll last for a good few weeks, and then it'll be away, and then you come back into work and you go again.
Thanks very much, Bob. Thanks for coming out. Thank you. Cheers.
It has been a very good season for Wycombe. How difficult will it be, Andy, to lift themselves again next season?
Well, we all talk about the sort of hangover period, don't we? But you know, you've got to take the rough with the smooth in football. You will have highs, you'll have lows, and I think that it might make them stronger. You know, as Paul said, he's not been down here for too long, so it's a learning curve for him, and he's then now got to get them players revved up for next season to go again. We
often hear, Keith, you know, the one drawback, if you like, from the playoff final is that you can't you don't know which league you're going to be in next season. So therefore, budgets and everything else, you know, and players coming in and out, you can't do anything about it, can you, until you know?
Well, majority of our squad's, you know, under contract for next season. That's part of our development. There'll only be 1 or 2 players released. So we're already well in our way for planning for next season anyway. It would be great to have 1 or 2 additions, which we're going to have anyway. But regardless of whether in League 1 or League 2, you know, it's important that we do strengthen. And we'll get that opportunity, but I don't know what my budget is just at this moment in time. But it will be increased because we're going to Wembley.
Yeah, let's hope so, for your sake. And this is how you got there then, to Wembley. Rochdale, for the first time ever at Wembley, thanks to this game. And you had to do it the hard way, didn't you, Keith? You went down through this penalty, overall 3-1 down.
3-1 down. Again, the belief within the lads is tremendous, and they never thought they were ever out of it. You know, a bit of a dubious penalty decision. Possibly maybe a little bit of coming together early on, but he's definitely looking for a penalty. And it was dispatched well, but like I said, we was looking to get to half-time, possibly, you know, only 1 goal to the disadvantage, but we got a goal just before half-time. Arden Rondell, great ball in, parried out by the keeper and followed up brilliantly by Chris Stagman.
He's been great since coming back from injury. And then this, I know it took a slight deflection, but such a sweet strike, wasn't it?
Super strike, you know, he's capable of doing that, but he doesn't do it often enough. You know, the travesty today was obviously the sending off of David Perkins, which we're going to see now. You know, I hope that's going to be rescinded because there's no way, there's no intention whatsoever to go for the player. And it was just a coming together. It was a mistimed tackle, so I just hope that's rescinded.
Well, we've seen 1 rescinded, haven't we,
yeah,
during the playoffs? John Eustace got his rescinded, so the precedent is there for that to happen.
Well, I hope so. It'd be a travesty he missed out on Wembley. He's been magnificent all season. Scores a great goal in the semi-final, and unfortunately got sent off.
And the penalties were superb, weren't they? I mean, everyone, well, apart from 1, there was only 1 missed penalty. They're all superbly taken.
Somebody's got to miss. Unfortunately, you know, it was Kennedy for Darlington, but that was fortunate for us. We scored all our 5, and we had to do that because of the standard of the penalty. But you know, Ben Muir had assured me when he went on the pitch he was going to score the winner, and he did.
I know you told us, well, you didn't practice them, are they? Any practice before Wembley? No?
Probably not. You know, I have 100% belief in the players and their capabilities, and you know, sometimes you can doubt yourself if you go into a penalty shootout having practiced and missed penalties. So I don't know. I suppose there's an argument for both sides.
Well, I wouldn't practice them if they're taken like that. It doesn't need it, does it, really?
They're absolutely fantastic, all of them, apart from the one that was missed, as we said. And, you know, scenes at the end, that's fantastic. And it's great for Rochdale, and it's great for Keith, because it's centenary season, and it would be a dream that they went up in the centenary season.
Keith's birthday.
Yeah.
It's all going off, isn't it, really? And great scenes at Spotland there. These confirmation then of the playoff finals on Saturday. They've switched them around obviously because of Euro 2008. International players with the championship clubs getting away earlier. So Saturday, Bristol City against Hull, 3 o'clock. League 1 on Sunday, Doncaster Leeds, Yorkshire Derby, 3 o'clock. And League 2, Greater Manchester Derby, Rochdale against Stockport, 3 o'clock. Just to give you the odds for the 3 games, Hull City odds-on favourites against Bristol City. Leeds odds-on favourites against Doncaster, and Stockport odds-on favourites against you, Keith.
I don't mind that. I don't mind being an underdog. You know, we're more than capable. There's no question about that. We've scored a lot of goals, but obviously, no, Stockport are very good defensively. They're very resolute, and they do defend the lead very well, which I said earlier on in the programme.
Won't ask you to forecast your game for obvious reasons, but who do you fancy Doncaster Leeds very quickly?
Doncaster.
And Hull against Bristol City?
Definitely my old manager Steve Parkin's there, and I wish him all the best, and hopefully Hull will do it.
Well done. Andy, same for you. Give us all 3 for... Well, no, you can't forecast with Keith. So same again, Leeds Doncaster.
I'll go for Leeds on that one.
Right, and in the Championship playoff final?
I've got mixed loyalties there, because Gary's been very good to me with players on loan and stuff, but Brian Horton is there, and Brownie, and I'd like to see them go up.
OK, we shall see. It's all to come, isn't it? This is what's coming up for you. Next Saturday, Bristol City against Hull, 2 o'clock. It's on Sky Sports 1 and HD1. The League 1 final, Doncaster against Leeds, 2:30. Sky Sports 2 and HD2. And then Keith Hill's Rochdale against Jim Gannon Stockport, 2:30 on Monday. Sky Sports 2 and HD2. Tonight it's Murcia against Barcelona from Spain, 9 o'clock Sky Sports 1. And there's NASCAR, the Sprint All-Star Race, 12:30 a.m, Sky Sports 1. It's a big thank you to Andy Ritchie and Keith Hill. And it's going to be a great occasion next weekend at Wembley. Join us then. Bye for now.
Come and get it, come and get it now. There's a big day waiting for you. Come and get it, come and get it now. Such a big day waiting for you. If you're willing just to take a chance, you're gonna shine, shine on the fire, shine on the fire. Maybe you've got something to prove. I'll clear your doubts away. Nothing can happen too soon. Too late to think about it anyway. Just to get a little closer to you. Just to get a little closer to you. Come and get it, come and get it now. There's a big day waiting for you. Come and get it, come and get it now. Such a big day waiting for you. If you're willing just to take a chance, you're gonna shine, shine on the fire, shine on the fire.
More sport, news and views at skysports.com.
I love you, Steve-O, but not enough to let you eat my corners and my bookings.